Many of you may be wondering, how you go about getting found on GigMasters, and that's a great question. What we as a site average every day for visitors is about 40,000, and many of you might be wondering, well, how do so many people get to your site? Well, many of them will be, past clients that have used our services and booked our members for their events, or they'll be referred by like a friend or family member that maybe has used GigMasters and booked someone. But the majority of our clients will get to GigMasters through a Google search. And we have a great marketing team and SEO team that works diligently on making sure that we do remain at the top of search results and we do rank pretty high. As you can see here in the screenshot, most likely a client that wasn't sure how to go about looking for entertainment, went to Google and typed in Chicago String Quartet. As you can see, the very first hit there is a link to GigMasters. So it would allow a client to see a link to our website, for what they're looking for in their area. They can click that link. It'll direct them to the search results page where they'll be able to, review the profiles of our members, and they can submit anybody a request for their event in particular. Another way to be making sure, how you're getting found on GigMasters and where you are appearing is the membership that you have. Where you're found will depend on which one in particular you are listed with. For example, our starter membership, which is the light, which is available for a maximum of 3 months, is very limited. It's going to only provide you with a 10-mile travel radius from your location. The basic will offer you 100 miles. The professional will offer you 500, and then the gold will offer you 3,000, which is nationwide coverage for the United States and to Canada as well. In terms of travel radius, our mileage is calculated as the crow flies, which is the shortest distance between 2 points. And the reason that GigMasters calculates it this way is that it allows our members to receive more leads within that travel radius. But we do stress and we do recommend that you do always map the distance between your location and the location of the client's event or venue, just to see exactly how far it is going to be. And that could factor things. That could also factor into, say, like a travel fee, for example. But as I mentioned before, with the light membership, being very limited to those 10 miles, it could be something that's very beneficial for, say, a large city like New York, which is very concentrated. But in a city such as Los Angeles, as you see here on the slideshow, you'll see that 10 miles, doesn't really cover much at all. And, you can see how you could just benefit greatly by having that, increased travel radius. And it is something that is customizable. So say you do happen to have the basic, which provides you with those 100 miles. But say, that is something that's a little bit too far for you to travel. Maybe you're not comfortable going that great of a distance. You could definitely reduce it. You could set it to say 50 or, 75, whatever you're comfortable with. But it is something that is available for you to do at any time. I also want to stress the importance of the particular membership that you have and the leads that you would expect to be receiving and have it generate. As you can see here on the slideshow, the average number of leads per member in terms of the course of last year, you could see that the basic, pro, and gold received substantially greater leads than the light membership. So it is something to consider, when you are looking to list yourself on GigMasters. As I mentioned earlier in the webinar, you can upgrade at any time. But if you wanted to, say, get started with the starter light membership, just to kind of get your feet wet, get a little bit familiar with our service, you could set up your profile. But if you are looking to gain that increased exposure, try to target some more areas and try to get some more leads with the potential to book more, going with one of the other memberships is probably going to serve you best. Let's see, we're now going to, I believe, take another break to answer a few more questions from our members here. Okay, we have a question here from Steven who's asking, do profile thumbnail photos need to include faces? No, a thumbnail profile photo, any photo really could be what you'd like it to be. It could be your personal logo. It could be, say, like, the name of your business or your band or whatever, really. But it doesn't have to include, your face. It could be if you wanted, if that was your preference. But it's not something that, is mandatory on GigMasters by any means.
Yeah, you probably don't want to put a picture of your actual thumbnail, though. But yeah, don't be afraid to change it up, especially for those vendors. You don't have to put your faces there. If you have a very popular product and you find that clients are searching for it very often, and that's what they're coming in and looking for, put that product as the front-facing picture. That's a great idea. And if you're not seeing as many clicks, maybe change up that thumbnail photo, because again, that's what grabs people from the search results and encourages them to view that profile and click that button. Charlie's question here. So he says, please explain more about who shops for entertainment on GigMasters. For example, is it more actual end customers or agent and event planners? Charlie, that's an awesome question.
Yeah.
I would say on GigMasters, we have the entire spectrum of clients coming in searching. Yep. We do have major event planners coming in and searching for big events, large corporate functions or sales summits. But we also have mom, dads, bride, and grooms coming in and planning their own event. So, I would say, we do try to collect that information from the clients as they request quotes from you. So you'll see there's a who I am section on the request form, and it'll say I'm the bride and groom, I'm a friend or relative of the bride and groom, I'm the restaurant owner, I'm a professional event planner, or I'm just the crazy uncle who wants to surprise the bride and groom with an Elvis impersonator. So we try to collect all that information, but I would say for the most part, of course event planners are a big part of our business because these are events that are happening, but more often than not, the event planners are going to be the actual hosts of the party. So, I would say anything from a small backyard event to a huge arena does get, are the types of clients that we experience. So, I would, cater your responses to everybody. Of course, keep them professional, keep them personal. And another important note is to always check out that notes section in the request. That sometimes they slip in a few little questions in there, and if you touch on those, that'll really hit a personal note with the client. So great question, and I would just say be prepared for anyone to reach out to you. You never know. I was always brought up talking about you never know how much money somebody has. You don't know who you're talking to. So you could be talking to a celebrity in disguise, and they might look like a homeless person. So treat everybody as you want to be treated. Don't worry about what their budget is or who they are or what their job is. We have the entire spectrum here at GigMasters, and they want you to help them have fun at their event. What we do is help you get more gigs, and you guys are in the business of making those events. So, whoever the clients are, they want you and they're interested. So if they're already on GigMasters, there's a good bet that they will hire somebody. Alrighty, so we're going to go a little bit fast. So we're going to talk about getting booked, but we're going to slow it down because before we can get you booked, you need to get those responses out there. So before we talk about getting booked, we're going to talk about the importance of responding to clients and our rapid responder badge here at GigMasters. So when clients request a quote from you, we tell them that they're going to get a response within 24 to 48 hours. But in actuality, our average response time here on GigMasters is 9 hours. So we try to, do as best as we can to get instant responses to our clients from you guys. So what do we have in place to help you respond to clients quick? So as soon as a client requests a quote from you, we automatically fire you off an email and put an alert on your member control panel. For our paid members, we do also offer text message lead alerts. So if you have your email connected to your smartphone, you can receive, 2 alerts at once. You can get that email and the text message and fire that response off as soon as possible to the client. We have found through our research that 1 out of every 3 gigs goes to the first responder. So the early bird really does get the worm. And, if for all Apple users or iOS users, this year GigMasters did unroll our Leads by GigMasters app that allows you to respond and manage your leads right from your mobile phone. We're not trying to isolate you Android users. We are aware that it's not available right now through that device, and we are working on it. But in the meantime, if you have an Android smartphone, we have a fully compatible mobile site where you can also respond and manage your leads. So, if you wanted to, test that out, I would certainly encourage it. So that is the very important aspect in getting you booked. You may say, I have a 100% complete profile. It looks great. Why am I not getting leads? Well, we have your stats right here. You take 300 hours to get back to the clients. So we want you to focus on 2 factors, your average response rate and your average response time. We want that average response rate, meaning how many leads you have compared to how many you respond to be very high, and your average response time to be very low. And we'll reward you for that with a rapid responder badge right on your GigMasters profile. So clients know, hey, I'm going to reach out to them and I expect a rapid response. So you can find that stat on a few different places on your GigMasters account. The most prominent place is on your dashboard tab, the tab that you're automatically logged into when you log into your member control panel. So let's aim to keep that average response rate high and the average response time low. And before we kick it over to Gus, I do want to stress the importance of not only responding quickly to clients through the gig alert, but also following up with them with a personal phone call. We have found that if you follow up by phone call and just give that personal touch, introduce yourself, and start that working relationship right off the bat, it goes a long way. And even, just making the personal connections with the client can help set you apart from your competition. So, for you photographers out there, if you wanted to give the client a call and throughout the conversation say, what point of this event are you looking forward to most? And then the client, they love talking about their events. They'll say, I'm excited to see the look on my husband's face when you surprise him. And you can say, I will do everything in my power to capture that moment for you. Just those tiny little personal connections can do so much to set you apart from, hey, hire me at your next event. I'm great. You want to connect with the client and try to encourage them that you are the perfect, most experienced, best fit, and that you're excited, willing, and able to customize your services for them. So, those little touches go a long way. So we're going to talk more about managing those leads through the leads tab of your member control panel.
Thanks, Annie. Yes, as she just mentioned, the leads tab. This is a very important area of your control panel. I like to personally refer to it as, the bread and butter of the control panel, because this is where all of the gig requests are going to be located. You'll be able to access them by clicking that inbox folder. But these folders as well can also be customized. You could change the name of them. You can move gig requests to those folders. So for example, say, you want to set one up for gigs you've responded to already, say maybe gigs you've booked, gigs that the date has passed, gigs you're not interested in and you've declined. You could definitely personalize it, customize it to your personal liking. But that inbox folder is where they're all going to be initially by default. Clicking on it will give you access to the request itself. You can pull it up. You can respond with your bid. You can make edits and changes to your initial bid. As long as the request itself is still open, it'll allow you to fire it back off to the client. And it also will display the client's contact information. And as Andy stressed earlier, it is very important to follow up with them directly, with that phone call, or following up with an email, because we do see 1 in 3 bookings, does go to that initial person that reaches out to them. So all this information is going to be located there. But I do want to point out that the contact information is only released when you submit a yes bid. If you do decline, then you will not have that contact information. But also, as Annie was stressing before, getting back to the clients, quickly. One way to go about doing this when responding to their request with your bid is having a saved bid response. A saved bid response will just allow you to have, say, like a general response to like a certain particular type of an event. Say it's a wedding reception or a birthday party or a corporate function. It'll allow you to save like a general quote and also the message area to the client, which is very important because it does emphasize your services and allows you to let the client know what it is that you actually offer. But sometimes that could take some time actually typing it out. So if you do have one saved, it will allow you to, when you're responding to the request, it gives you an option to use a saved bid response. You select it and then it'll auto-populate all of those fields for you. Now we do recommend, even if you do have a saved bid response, to at least personalize and customize that response to the client. So you want to touch on things like using their name or mentioning things that are specific to their request, or if they mentioned anything in the notes, or say the venue that you see that's located on the request. Say you've played there before, you could throw that in there. It's going to add a nice touch. It might instill some confidence in the client, to book you for their event as well. In terms of actually creating a saved bid response, you could do this on the leads tab. It's at the very bottom of the page. If you can see here on the slideshow, there's an edit link right there next to save bid responses. Clicking on it will allow you to just generate a response. You could use a title and save it. It will allow you to then edit any existing responses you have. If you wanted to remove them, you can delete them as well. It's entirely up to you. but it is one way that helps cut down on your response time, and actually will increase the your response time in terms of being able to get that rapid responder badge, because it'll allow you to just respond in a quick, efficient, timely manner. Now I'm just going to transition to the booked portion of the webinar. We do, like I said, stress following up with the client directly. After you submitted your bid to them, and say you are in direct discussions with them, and they inform you that they're going to hire you for the event. So congratulations, you've been booked. But now what do? Now you want to just make sure that that booking is officially confirmed and recorded through GigMasters. And the way to do so is to log into your account. You could click on that leads tab and then that inbox folder again. All the way to the very right, as you'll see here on the screen on the slideshow, there is that book now button. Clicking on it once will just give you a little prompt message there at the top. It's just going to ask you if you've indeed been in direct contact with the client and that you have been in fact hired for this event. You can click on the OK. It's just going to direct you to the confirmation page. Please make sure to scroll down when you are on the confirmation page, because that way it'll allow you to officially confirm and record the booking. And just making sure you have it recorded is going to provide some benefits to you, because for one, it's going to make sure that you get that official credit. It'll apply the booking dollars for how much you booked that event for, which helps elevate your placement in search results. It's going to be a verified booking on your GigMasters profile page, so allow clients to see how many times you've been booked through our service. It's also going to allow that client to leave you a review the day after the event. We actually reach out to them on our members' behalf. That review will be posted right on your GigMasters profile page, so it'll give prospective clients the opportunity to see what clients that book you through our service have said about your services and how they've rated your performance. Other things that are beneficial by confirming the booking are, it allows you to generate a contract through GigMasters. You could save and send it off to the client. It's completely optional. There is no service charge for it, but you don't have to use our contract. You could use your own personal contract if you prefer, but it is a nice convenience that we do offer all of our members. And another one is opting into online payments. So say you want a quick, easy, efficient method of being paid by clients that book you through GigMasters. You can enter in like a checking account and opt to receive, say, deposits and balances. The way that process works is a client makes a payment to you. You redeem that payment through your account. You would receive a notification from us. It'll also be as an alert in your account in the control panel. Redeeming a payment takes about 4 to 6 business days before it actually deposits into your account. That, again, is a completely optional feature. There is no charge for them, either to you or to the clients that book you. You could always request a client pay you directly. That is something that is entirely up to you and the agreement you come to with them. But it is a nice little feature that we do offer. Unfortunately, it is only available for United States members at this time, so we do apologize for our Canadian members. And let's see, I believe that is going to conclude the webinar, I guess, for right now. But we're just going to go over a quick overview. Annie's just going to kick this off.
Yeah, so as we mentioned when we started, we didn't go through every nook and cranny, so there is still more to review. Apologize, we couldn't get to everything today, but these are just going to be the main topics that we went over. So if you wanted to, say, print out this page and cross-check your own member control panel, we're going to want to make sure that you look as great as possible. We want Billy to be proud of you. So we want a 100% complete profile with concentration on your descriptions, your photos, your videos, and also your reviews and offers. Don't be afraid to change it up, and even change them depending on the seasons or the holidays that are approaching. So that's the major topics that we touched on our look good section today.
Yeah, and then as far as getting found, the membership level, again, it's just going to be determined by how far you're willing to travel, how big of a market geographically you'd like to cover and target for exposure. So you want to just make sure that you do plan that accordingly, because obviously if you're only looking to do something locally, you're probably not going to be interested in going with the gold membership. That's going to give you nationwide coverage. And also the categories, we can't emphasize this enough. Make sure that you are listed in categories that are most relative to the services that you provide and offer. And again, if you need assistance with that, you could always give our account services team a call. We could definitely help you and make sure that you're listed in the categories that will receive the most amount of requests and bookings for your area and the services that you do provide and offer. And again, this area also covered the featured profiles. As I mentioned earlier, the featured profile will allow you to target a specific city and category that you maybe want to get some more exposure in, or you're looking to get some more bookings. And I do want to also point out again that it is only for that specific category and city. It does not work like your normal search results profile, where it'll cover all your categories and your radius. This is going to be specifically one category, one city, and a duration of 1 to 12 months. But you are welcome to do more than one if you do like. And I believe Andy's just going to discuss the last part of the webinar here.
Yeah, so the getting booked section, that's, what we all want to hear. So we want you to get books. Our mission here is to help you get more gigs. So we try to, highlight all of our features and benefits here because we really do give you as many tools as we can to be as successful as possible. So, please don't be DJ no-show, customize that profile, and let's get you booked. So on top of getting that profile as awesome as you can, we want you to respond quickly to clients and follow up with those personal phone calls. If you happen to leave a message, don't give up on the event. The clients are looking for someone, and that someone is you. We want you, again, to respond as soon as possible. So have those customized save bid responses. Don't spend an hour every time writing up a personal message. Spend a few hours creating those save bid responses and having them in your arsenal and just fire them off and convince the client that they're right for you. Put in some quotes, put in some links. Just let the clients know in the responses that you are their fit. And last and not least, we want you to confirm your bookings on GigMasters. We work on an honor system here. So Gus pointed out how you can get your events booked through your member control panel. And it's a two-way road. The clients can book you for the events, or you can book on the client's behalf. So, if clients have trouble, they could call us, email us, or book through their client control panel. Or as a member, you can call us, email, or book through your member control panel. There's no excuse to not have the event booked. If for any reason it falls through the cracks and it's not booked, and you say, I wanted that credit, I wanted to climb in search results, and I wanted that review. I don't know why this wasn't booked. I guess I didn't realize they were a GigMasters client. After the event takes place, give us a call. We'll get it booked for you, and we'll resend the client that review, official review form. So, there's always options, and we're always willing to work with you. Don't be afraid of us. You might not have seen our faces before. This is our first video webinar, but, there's a few more representatives out there on the floor just 10 feet away who are answering calls as we speak. I don't know if any of you called in while we're out here, but
I promise we're less scary on the phone.
Yeah, so just, keep us in the loop. We're here for you. That's, our goal. We appreciate every single member, from our light members to our gold members, our new and our old. You are the reason GigMasters is around, and we just want to answer your questions. So hopefully this webinar helped. If you have any lingering questions, we're going to get to a few as we wrap up, but give us a call, send us an email. We're here for you, and we hope, if you took anything out of this webinar, it's customization.
Yeah, absolutely.
And bookings.
Yeah, and before we do open up for questions, I just want to point out, if you see here on the slideshow, our Inside the Gig blog, this is a great place to go to for useful and helpful information. They're written exclusively for our members. So, if you ever have the time to review some of them, I highly encourage you. It does contain, a lot of, like tips and tools and just, juicy tidbits of information. So, please feel free to take a moment to review them when you do get an opportunity. But right now, I think we're going to start answering some questions from our members. Annie, you want to kick it off?
Sure, I'd love to. Alrighty. So we're going to take one from Mike Reed here. Hello, Mike. In your experience, do most bands offer to pay the GigMasters fee or have the client pay for it? Well, our records have shown that about 65 to 70% of our members do pay the booking fee on the client's behalf. So it is a great option, but we'll always make it optional. So you can say, I'm always willing to pay the booking fee for the client, and it's automatic. We'll let the clients know in your response that the member, you will cover it on their behalf. So on a different note, if you wanted to, maybe use it as a negotiation tool, you could always go in and resubmit your bid. So if you, talk to the client and they say, I'm really interested, but you're just a little bit outside my budget, you'll say, you know what? I want to do this event. I'm excited. Why don't we shave the $20 fee? I'll cover that on your behalf, and let me just resubmit this bid for you. So you could use it as a negotiation tool. You could do it on a client by client basis, or you could just always have the clients pay that fee. Yep. We try to make that fee as clear as possible. It's in the notes. Or not in the notes, it's in your quote saying, if you decide to hire Mike, the booking fee is going to be due at the time of booking. And we try to show the clients, all the benefits and security that they get by paying that booking fee. Our buyer protection, our contracts, our payments, our reviews, our support here, just in case, you get sick at the last minute or you can't perform at their event. We're here and we're, able to reach out to, any replacements and try to get that event booked. So even online payments, we have control of those. So if for any reason, you need to send the clients receipts or anything like that, it is a great, feeling that we give and try to give as much security to book through GigMasters. And again, we don't want to hide that booking fee from anybody. We try to make that as clear as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with any more. Let's see here. We have another great question from Lyle, who's asking, is there a way to correct the date for an event? Yes, Lyle, there is. We just ask you to inform us of the gig ID number and just let us know what the data of the event is going to be. In that situation, what we'll do is we'll just reach out to the client because we always have to confirm any change with the other party. So say it's a change to the date or to the duration, start time, venue. Whatever the case may be. Just let us know, and then we'll reach out to that client for you. And upon that confirmation, we'll officially go ahead and update the gig accordingly. Let's see here. We have another question here from Bernie. Bernie's asking, I have a problem on quoting on jobs while first talking to the client. I want to make sure that I'm offering them the right program at the right price. Quoting blind is tough. Bernie, this is actually a great question, and this is something I believe that many of our members do not realize is available for them to do. But when you are responding to the client, obviously if you're going to respond with a yes, but you don't know what you're going to quote them because you need some more info, what you can do is you could leave the rate field blank. Just make sure it's blank and you don't put in a actual like zero amount because that's going to say that you're quoting zero. But leave the rate field blank. All that's required is a message to the client in the message box below, which is a 20-character minimum. You can submit your bid, and what it will do is it will release the client's contact information to you as it normally would. You're welcome to follow up with them and discuss the event in greater detail. Go over the specifics, and that way you could see what you would actually be quoting them. Based on what they're requesting from you. You could then go back into the gig request itself and pull up your initial bid, and it will allow you to edit and resubmit your response to include the rate. And from there, you'll be able to go ahead and confirm the booking if that client does indeed book you for the event.
Yeah, and just to elaborate that on a little bit more, this is where I'm going to plug our save bid responses. So, Bernie, if you don't have enough information to quote the client and you're not comfortable submitting a price and maybe pricing yourself out of the event, have a save bid responses with all your, say it's a birthday party, all your birthday party packages, and say, thank you so much, Mary. I keep using Mary's name. Thank you so much, Mary, for reaching out to me. I have a few different offers that I think would fit your event. Please feel free to contact me with which package you like. If I don't hear from you, I'm going to be following up in the next day or so. So you can always, give them a few options in the personal message section and then follow up with them and see which one they like the most. So, give them some time to review it. That's really important. And then in order to get booked, we can't get you booked with no rate. So once you and Mary come up with a specific rate, you can always just go in there and resubmit your bid. And, as we're talking about resubmitting bids, you can always resubmit your bid as long as the event is open. So say, the client, you originally quoted $500, you talk to them on the phone and they say, that's a little bit outside my price range. Come up with a new rate of $450, or you want to pay the booking fee for them. As long as the event's still open, jump into your leads tab, into the inbox, open up the quote and fire away a new quote. It'll take the place of the old one and they'll get that new rate so they can book at all the details you guys already discussed.
Okay, we have another good question here from Rob, who's asking if the webinar was recorded so he can watch it later. Yes, Rob, it has been recorded. It'll be archived and available, I believe, next week. Is that correct? Okay, and that will be located on the Inside the Gig blog. Okay, yeah. So, please just keep an eye out for that. We're probably going to be archiving it probably during the course of next week sometime. But yes, it absolutely was recorded, so you'll definitely have the opportunity to watch it. Let's see. And do you want to
Oh,
take the next
sure.
question?
Alrighty, let's see. Okay. So Nicole has a question here. Oh, yes, Nicole. So what if we do not want to broadcast how much we are earning to the public? So I believe you're talking about our search results analyzer, what we were talking about earlier, where it shows your listing and search results with all of the other primary locations, primary categories, and booking dollars in the past 6 months. So you can opt out of the search results analyzer. You do not have to make that public. By default, you are automatically opted in. So what you're going to want to do is, we didn't touch too much on the account tab of your profile or your member control panel. So the account tab, it's the second to last tab on the account. And on that page, you'll see optional features. It's the second to last option from the bottom. And on that page, you can opt out of the search results analyzer, so that when other people are viewing the search results analyzer, they'll see your name, your primary category, and your location, but in the booking dollar section, there will just be a star showing that it's private. So you can certainly, keep your earnings as private as possible, and you do not have to share those with competitors. So that's a great question. And, there are a few other optional features on this page, so I would recommend, checking that out. Again, we didn't get to all the nooks and crannies of the member control panel. The account tab is certainly something you want to check out as well.
David is asking if this is a mic that he sees in between me and Annie. Yes.
Yeah, it's not a fan.
This is a microphone. Yeah, it's not a fan because it is rather cold here in Connecticut. So it's a snowball mic.
Yes.
Made by Blue. Made by Blue.
Yes. It's going up on auction after this webinar. Just kidding. Alrighty. So.
Here's another great question. After how long does my new member status go away, and then what happens once it does? Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe, does this stay up there for the first, is it the 90 days?
Or until your first booking.
Until your first booking, yeah. So it'll be up there for 90 days unless you get booked prior to that time, and then that new member badge will no longer be displayed.
Charlie, you're asking some great questions today. Alrighty, so Marcus Robinson has a question here, and he goes, I love you guys, just joined, and I've already received my first gig. That's not a question, but that's
nice.
Great. Join the party. You hashtag there. So if
the party starts here.
Yeah, the party starts here. And for any of you guys who are active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, GigMasters, we do have our own accounts. And I believe our marketing team is live tweeting from this webinar. So if you wanted to, hop on Twitter and follow GigMasters, we definitely, hit you back, and we'd love to interact with our members, socially. So please, give us a call. Oh, you see our Twitter right here. Very nice. Well, we're very happy. We love you too. And, we're hoping that first gig turns into many more to come. And if you need help getting that review on there, give us a call.
Okay, we have another question here from Kayla saying, hello, question. When a client receives multiple bids from different vendors/performers, how are those bids presented? Are they shown in terms of price, speed of response, etc.? Thank you. What happens is when anyone submits a bid, the client is emailed that bid, and it'll just let them know who it was received from. It'll contain the quote that person has quoted the client. It'll also contain that person's contact information. It'll display the phone number and email address towards the bottom portion of the email. So that's how that process works. But clients can also view your bid response by logging into their GigMasters account as well. They also do have one. They more than likely will see your bid in the email, but they do have the opportunity to log into their account, and they could also view the quote there, and they could also go ahead and confirm a booking for their event also.
Yeah, so similar to the way you receive leads, we'll send an email, but they can also reference them on their client control panel. So, that's a great question. And, if the clients, accidentally delete your email, or if you accidentally delete a Gig Alert email, we could always fire that right back to you.
So I just want to mention before we conclude here that we are always open. You could always give us a call here, 866-342-9794, or by email at info@gigmasters.com. We will do our best to get back to you if you happen to give us a call on the weekend and leave a voicemail. We do have representatives that do work on Saturday and Sundays, so we will definitely do our best to get back to you and answer any questions that you may have. But I just want to take the moment here just to thank all of our members for attending the webinar today. Hopefully the information that Annie and myself provided to you, was very helpful and useful for all of you. But again, if you do have any questions along the way, and if you do need assistance, we are always here to help. So definitely feel free to reach out. Did you want to add anything yourself, Annie?
No, I just want to echo that. Thank you so much for attending. I know, it takes a lot to put a little bit more than an hour outside of your day on a Thursday. So thank you so much for attending and joining us and asking all these great questions. And again, any other questions, just give us a call or send us an email.
Yep. Thanks for being the life of the party, guys.
You guys are the best. Thank you again.